Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Indeed, it's getting hotter, it's getting fiercer as there's a collaboration now as we speak between the Yoruba nations and the indigenous people of Biafra, and they have given the federal government of Nigeria ultimatum. Amazing. But we're going to find out what exactly they want and why they're giving the ultimatum. But before we go into the news proper for the analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. While the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, and the Yoruba One Voice, YOV, have reiterated their resolve to achieve Biafra and Oduduwa nations respectively. Warning of an implosion in Nigeria, they told the federal government to, between now and October 1, 2021, conduct a referendum to allow citizens to choose whether to leave or remain in the country. Wow, that's a strong and a tough order. But let's continue. It was actually contained in a joint release made available today. It was signed by Shina Okalomo, YOV, that's the Yoruba One Voice, General Secretary, and Chika Edoziem, Head IPOB Secretary, Directorate of the State. I'll take that again so we can understand those who signed this. It was signed by Shina Okalomo, that's YVO, that's Yoruba One Voice, and of course, that's the Secretary General, and of course, Chika Edoziem, Head of IPOB Directorate of the State. Let's continue. The statement said the Southern people were enduring life with others who do not share our own values, whose ways of life, mannerism, ideology are untoward, inimical, and alien, hostile to even our people, they said. The bodies noted that it is time to boldly jettison the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, which was not a product of the collective will of the people. They said the Constitution was decreed into existence by the General Abdul Salami Abubakar administration after the annulment of June 12, 1993 general elections, won fair and square by the late Bashiru Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. The signatories noted that the 1914 forced amalgamation has entrenched poverty, underdevelopment, mediocrity, unemployment, wanton killings, terrorism, inequality, insecurity, injustice, ethnic bigotry, religious fanaticism, and the breach of human rights. The indigenous people of Biafra and the Yoruba One Voice said from all indications the current leadership of Nigeria has never been committed to the fundamental objectives and directives of the principles of statehood, the policies of federalism as enshrined in Chapter 2 of the Constitution. They stated that the people of the South are tired of the terrorism, insecurity, hopelessness, injustice, killings, unemployment, inequality, corruption, scandals, violence, oppression, extortion, and repression. Our aspiration is to build a stable nation for our people, and in this regard, we demand that there must be a referendum so that our peoples can freely and fairly make a democratic choice whether they want to continue with Nigeria as presently configured or seek the right to self-determination before the 2023 general elections. In order to prevent an implosion of sorts, we on behalf of our people therefore demand a proper referendum plebiscite to be conducted between now and the 1st of October 2021 in accordance with the rights of indigenous peoples all over the world under the law as provided in African Union AU and the United Nations UN charters. The groups said, if the people choose self-determination, there will be an immediate activation for the creation of Oduduwa and Biafran nations out of Nigeria from October the 2nd, 2021. That's immediately after the 2021. Immediately there will be two nations. But let's continue. Ipob, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, and the Yoruba One Voice, told southern people to stay away from the Nigerian 60th independence anniversary activities. They told them to be free from internal colonization and to stay at home on October 1st, 2020. The statement told agitators to be ready for further calls for peaceful and legal demonstrations. Wow, this is the collaboration that most persons do not want to hear. This is a collaboration that has generally, even before this collaboration, one of the things I noticed about Nigeria, one of the beauties of Nigeria has been the diversity in culture. And so to speak, it's even that same diversity in culture that seems to be limiting Nigeria as a nation. Sorry to say this. Each time you go on social media, there's some certain things there's some words or some topics that are so sensitive that you don't even dare to venture into. You begin to see bigotry. We are so divided in ethnical lines and religious fanaticism. And that's why, to some extent, it's easier for corrupt leaders to keep, you know, enjoying corruption in their level, in their positions, not minded, because all they need to do is throw that, bigotry, that ethnicity problem and religion problem, and Nigerians will begin to dance like those who are in desire, who don't even understand that they are being, deceived technically. Just begin to notice. Next thing you see, ethnicism comes into play. For the first time, if you can, for any reason, if Nigerians, look, every region have a fair share of very poor people. Every region have a fair share of very poor. Not no one region is totally very rich. Okay, you still have some people within the region that are actually living below standard, below par. For that reason, that means every region has been cheated by corrupt leaders in Nigeria. So what's so wrong in joining hands together for a change, honestly, for a change, and make your voice count? This whole issue of, okay, you're already called out for revolution. Some persons say they're not going, that it's not their business. Some people said, after all, it's not same sorrow that brought the government of the day into position. For that reason, they're not going. Whether you go or not, the problems doesn't change. In as much as he calls out for it and nobody comes out, this struggle continues. Like the world say, Aluta continua, Victoria Sata. But let's continue. Now, Nigerians have taken to the social media to react over this particular matter. For this is the very first time in a very long time that one will hear agitators coming together from different regions to say they want to emerge and make their voice count. It has always been differently said. IPOB will go their separate ways. YOV, that's what Yoruba One Voice will go their separate way. But I think Yoruba One Voice should begin to watch their ways. If they continue in this light, the way IPOB is, the way they are merging forces with IPOB, distant time they will be proscribed. That is how they do prescription. As in, so they should just watch it. As in, they should watch it. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians over this matter. We have seen that sidelining these groups of Nigerians that are expressing their rights to freedom of speech and association has been counterproductive. Hunting or killing them has also backfired heavily, as each person killed by security forces draw more sympathy for separatist ideology. At this point, the government must call these bodies and dialogue with them. That's the word, dialogue. Let's look. Why are they agitating? That's the question. Why are they agitating? Is there something we are doing, or is there something they are doing that we are not seeing? Is there something we are doing wrong? Let's come on a round table. Late Yaradua, blessed memory. It's even not it's not a southerner. But during the time where the militants were really hot, as in very hot, they keep bombing pipelines and all, what he did was he called a round table and he wanted amnesty. He said, look, we can't keep doing this, okay? Let's see how we can resolve this. These guys came on roundtable, discussed their terms. The government spoke with them on level playing ground, found out why they were actually so aggrieved, and decided to meet them at least at some point. And for sometimes, even just listening to these guys on roundtable can solve a lot of problem, but you don't know. The fact that you're ignoring them is probably making them even much more vexed. So if you can gather everyone together on the round table, find out why do you want to secede? Why do you want to leave? What are we not doing right? Let there be some sort of understanding, or else we'll keep getting this all wrong. Look, even if you proscribe IPOB, proscribe, more groups will come out. Look at Boko Haram. It started somehow, it started one day, and before you know it, they're now a menace. We can't continue in this light. Nigeria will be ungovernable if we continue this way. Let's all, if the government can just call all the parties involved, find out what is it that's making them to agitate, and see how we can find a way around solving it. Nigeria will be beautiful if everyone, can do the needful. But then it could be wishful thinking if no one comes, if no hand is on deck, to make it happen. That's not going to wrap it up. What's the take on this latest development where the Yoruba nation, that's via the YOV, Yoruba One Voice, and the indigenous people of Biafra are coming in one umbrella and saying they give the federal government from now till October 1st, 2021 to make referendum known